Hey everybody, Amber here. The clouds today are just incredible. I just love these clouds. They're so beautiful. So I want to talk today about an envelope system and what the heck it is and how it differs from Dave Ramsey's system. Hint, the practical side is all the same. The reason I want to talk about this today is I just got off of recording a podcast, and that was a question that we spent quite a bit of time on. And it's something that I haven't talked about in a while, and I think it's a really good reminder of how powerful an envelope system is. So I'm going to take you along on my walk today as we talk all things envelopes. And why do you want to listen to this? Well, it is the number one thing that I would never, ever remove from my business. And it is the thing that's allowed me to go on trips. It's allowed me to sleep well at night. It's allowed me to have really great conversations with my husband. It's allowed me so many things. And the list is so exhaustive with my clients in terms of being able to, live their life. So what the heck is an envelope system? Let me pause my walk so I can tell you. Okay, so there's a couple of terms that an envelope system go by. Some call it an envelope system. Some call it a $0 budget. The main thing about an envelope system is it differs from a regular budget because a budget is just what you plan on spending. And some people may say, well, doesn't an envelope system do the same thing? And the difference is a budget doesn't necessarily account for what's actually there. It only states your intention. Whereas an envelope system, the sun just came out and got really bright. I have to say really quickly, I love the sunshine in New Mexico. It is something I've been missing when I was living in Virginia. So I just take every moment to savor and appreciate it because it's so beautiful. Okay, back to envelope systems. So it's different because let's say, for example, we don't look at our bank accounts. We don't look at credit cards. We look at how we did things 100 years ago. 100 years ago and prior, really our entire existence, we traded money for things. And whether it was stones or another item and we were bartering or trading, we were always exchanging one thing for another. And when we got to a point where currency was now represented by a tangible bill or tangible coins, that's where money was really introduced. So an envelope system just simply is an organizer for that tangible money. So back, let's say 1950, money was brought home in cash for the household expenses. They would sit down and they would have envelopes, perhaps in a shoebox. That's what I like to envision it in. And let's say they have $1,000. They're putting $500 in for their mortgage. They're putting in $100 for groceries. They're putting in $50 for their utilities, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe they're putting in a certain amount for savings. This was a very common practice until we started using checks and credit cards and things that weren't necessarily cash that we were holding in our hand. So when we moved away from cash, we saw an exponential increase in consumer debt. And it wasn't because people just decided, you know what, I'm going to be bad with money now. It's not that, or I don't care about money, or it doesn't matter, it grows on trees. None of that happened. But our behavior changed because of a simple concept where our brain is rewarded when we're given back the credit card. So let me go back a little bit. 1950, I buy an ice cream cone. I receive the ice cream cone. I pay 50 cents or whatever it was. So I'm letting go of 2 quarters for the ice cream cone. The shop owner gets the 2 quarters. I get the ice cream cone. We're all good. What happens when we start using something like a credit card is I hand the credit card to the merchant. I get my ice cream cone and then I get my credit card back. What do you think that does to the brain? It's like an instant hit of dopamine because, oh, I didn't have to give anything up. even though logically we know we have just put a balance on the credit card, there's still this subconscious thing that we have experienced for hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years where we have traded something for something. All of a sudden, it has become a non-tangible thing. So there's that. The second thing is, now that we have these magic wands, we're now seeing an even bigger increase in consumer debt because we don't even have to hand anything over. We're waving this wand and then we're receiving the ice cream cone. So I share this with you because I want you to not go back and think, oh, this is awful, I'm so bad with money. No, not that at all. I want you to just start becoming more aware of how you think about cash versus how you think about spending on a credit card. And just be curious, what comes up for you when you spend your cash versus when you spend on a credit card or a debit card? There's something different. I know for me, even now, when I have cash in my purse, I feel rich. It's just something about having cash in your hand that feels more valuable than if you sign it over with a credit card. So an envelope system, and there are lots of different softwares out there. My favorite is YNAB. It stands for You Need a Budget. It's a modern envelope system. It allows you to use the same concepts that we've used for a long time, but in a way that works for our modern society with our modern electronic checking accounts and our credit cards and our virtual cards. All of that can be organized now, and you can still think of your cash as cash. And so it gives you permission to spend on the areas where you want to spend. I'll give you an example of this. Now, regardless of how much money is in my personal bank account, I put aside $500 a month for dining. And to some of you, that may be a lot. Some of you, that may be nothing. And that's another point here, is that we all have our own unique needs for the resource that's called money. So we've decided as a family that $500 is what we're going to spend on dining. So my husband and I go out on a date night once a week. We usually go to a movie or to dinner, or maybe a combination of both. And we really love good food. So the dining typically runs between $80 and $150 for the dinner. Well, there are 5 Fridays this month in March. We're in March of 2024 right now. And I was looking at the remaining amount in that envelope after our dinner on Thursday or last Friday. And I said, honey, we have about $56 left. So I can either move it from our line for our vacation to go to Mexico, or I could, there were other areas that I could move some money. Or we could go to Pokey Pokey, which is like Chipotle for poke bowls. It's really yummy, and it's like maybe $35 for the two of us. I said, what do you think? And he said, we haven't used our float membership since your surgery. I had surgery a couple months ago. So what if we did that and watched a movie at home? I said, I love that idea. So this is already worked in. We're not going to spend any extra money next Friday. I'm going to have an extra $53 to either spend on, a coffee here and there, or maybe just leave it for next month. That's the cool thing about an envelope system, is that $53 is now going to be added to my $500 that's sitting there for next month. So next month, I now am ahead. I have an extra $53 for dining, or I could move it to my savings, or I could move it to my Mexican vacation that I'm going to go on. So these things are just ways for you to make these conscious, non-emotional decisions about a resource that is neutral. That's what money is. It's a neutral resource. But it's the emotion that we add to it that can create so much emotion around money. And so this gives you an opportunity to look at it all in one place and have conversations like this without even looking at your bank balance. So this is a bit longer than some of my other videos, but I wanted to make sure to share both what it is, how it works, and a real life example of why I love them so much. And this is a personal example, but I really do love the idea of envelope systems being both business and personal. And when you implement it with components of Profit First, it is such a game changer. So there's a couple of things that I want to share with you. One is we're going to be having another opening of our program, Profit for Keeps, We're really excited about it. We're going to be starting to open up our doors for our masterclass. So if you're interested, you can sign up below. If you are someone who is really wanting to have a career in financial coaching and want to learn this incredible system, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're running our second round of Profit for Keeps certification, and we have open enrollment right now, so you can take a look. We're still honoring early bird pricing at the moment, so you actually, as of today, I don't know if we still have that, so scratch that, maybe we don't, but just reach out to Kristen at support@amberduggar.com and we can send you more information about that. It's going to be a very intimate experience, and it's a super affordable way for you to not only implement Profit for Keeps, but then learn it to be able to share with others. All right, I hope that this video was helpful. If you have lasted this long, you are a rock star. Thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate you just being here, being part of this community. Feel free to share below what your takeaway was, or if you've ever tried an envelope system, or what software you really like. I'd love to hear that. And that said, please feel free to like and share and subscribe to this if you haven't already. It really does help us get the word out as we want to reach more and more phones and homes to be able to empower you around cash flow so that you can stop thinking about it. All right, sending you so much love. Until next time, I'm Amber Duggar, founder of Profit for Keeps. Have a great week.